Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a rocket ship. I have had a surprising amount of requests to make one of these, and I have finally decided to deliver. So this isn't exactly like a realistic rocket ship exactly. It's kind of something that you'd see in a cartoon, but I think it looks really cool. I think it's really recognizable, and not only is it a rocket ship, and not only have I built kind of like a little launching stand and a launching pad for said ship, which you can walk up, and this is actually how you access the thing, but I've also done the interior a little bit. Now, there's not that much to see in here, although you do have a chair which you strap yourself into using these levers, and these iron trap doors, but we also have a computer so that we can actually take off, and if we go into the lower part of the ship, we'll also find that if we're not flying, that we have a little bedroom, and we have a little crafting area, and we also have our very own spacesuit. So it's a pretty well-equipped rocket ship, and I hope that you guys like this one. But that's more than enough talking. Why don't I actually show you how to make this thing? So if you want to make your very own rocket ship, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some redstone clay, some block of quartz, some quartz stairs, some quartz slabs, some black stained glass, some polished andesite, some stone brick stairs, some stone brick slabs, and some oak wood stairs. Plus, we need everything else in the inventory that you can see there, plus probably even more stuff. I always forget stuff that I actually need, so you might want to pause this, take note of what we have, grab it, and once you have everything, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your rocket ship with a row of 3 redstone clay coming directly up from the ground. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then go right at that third redstone clay by 1. Then go up by 2. 1, 2, like that. Then you want to go right of this first redstone clay that you just placed going up in this row of 2, and you want to do a block of quartz next to it. Take that block of quartz and place 1 quartz coming towards you. Then you want to do something that's very tricky to do, or very tricky to explain rather. You want to do 2 outward diagonals going right. It looks like this, like 1 and 2, like this. Easy to do, hard to explain. Go right at that second diagonal by 2. Then do like 2 inward right diagonals, so it'll look like this, like 1, 2. Then move back from that second block by 2, 1, 2. Then take that second block and kind of do like 2 inward right diagonals again, so that'll look like 1 and then 2. Then go right that second block by 2, 1, 2. Then do like an inward diagonal coming back to where we first started. And then you can just extend this very first quartz block that we started backwards by 1, and you'll end up with a shape that should look like this. Now, I understand that that's a little bit complicated to understand from like an explanation standpoint, but in reality, it's a very easy shape that we've just made, and I'm sure that you guys will have no problem replicating that whatsoever. Now, once you have got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, first of all, we're going to take our quartz slabs, and we want to take this shape that we have underneath our rocket, this kind of like, it's kind of like a big giant plus shape, and we want to do a layer of quartz slabs directly underneath this. This adds a little bit of shape to the rocket, plus it has the direct benefit of actually giving us a bottom to the rocket like this. Wonderful. Then underneath this, what we want to do is we want to do underneath each side where we have a row of 3, we want a row of upside down quartz stairs. So like this, can you see like underneath the slabs you can just place upside down stairs, and we want 1 row here, 1 row on the right hand side, 1 row on the back, and we also want 1 row on the left hand side as well, like this. And this is kind of just like the bottom of the rocket that would actually allow it to like propel itself, like it's the thrusters or whatever you'd call it. Now, take out the redstone clay. And on each side of the rocket, where we have the row of 3 block of quartz, so we have that one on the left, one on the right, back, front. Well, we want to make the same shape with redstone clay that we have on the left on each side. So we'll take this middle block of quartz, we'll put a redstone clay in front of it, we'll go up on top of it by 1, we'll go down by 1, we'll move it towards us by 1, we'll connect it to the ground, so it'll look like this, and this is just the support for the rocket. This is how it is actually like stable on the ground. Now, once you've done that to the front and the left hand side, because we start with the left, we want to come to the right hand side, do the same thing. We place 1 in front, we place 1 on top, we go down by 1, we extend it towards us by 1, then we connect it down to the ground. Wonderful. And do the same thing on the back. So on the back, we extend it towards us by 1, up 1, down 1, towards us 1, and then connect it down to the ground. Very, very easy to do. You've done it once, once, you've done it twice, 3, 4 times, it's easy as can be. Now, once you've got each one of these 4 supports for the rocket, here's what you want to do next. So, what we're going to do is, where you have the red stained clays, you want to place a block of quartz in front of the red stained clays, like the top ones that are poking up above the rocket. Place a quartz in front of them. Then place a quartz on top of each one of those quartzes, as I'm doing now. Then place 2 black stained glass on top of those quartzes, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then do a single block of quartz on top of each one of the black stained glass blocks. So you'll have something which should look like this. Then take every single other block of quartz that we have at the base of the rocket, surrounding the rows that we've just extended up with the glass and what have you, and you just want to add on top of each one of those quartz blocks quartz until every single one of those blocks of quartz is as high as the rows of quartz with the windows in it. So it wants to look, well, you guys can see how this is going to look. This is going to form the tube shape of the rocket. It wants to look a little something like that. That's quite easy, isn't it? Well, what we want to do next is this. Where you have the single blocks of quartz on each one of the 4 corners, you can see how it connects the 4 sides together. Place an additional block of quartz on top of each one of those single blocks of quartz. On top of the rows of 3 block of quartz, do a row of quartz stairs that goes outwards like this, so it kind of shapes the rocket a little bit like that. That's perfect. What we then want to do is we want to, above and inside the shape of the rocket, we want to have a row of red stained clay. It looks like this, so we kind of just want to have a square of red stained clay above and inside the rocket. It looks like this. It's just 4 rows of 3 red stained clay connected together at the top like that. We then want to place a black stained glass in the center of each one of the rows of 3. We then want to do red stained clay everywhere else on top of the red stained clay like that. What we then want to do is we want to do a row of quartz stairs on top of each one of those 4 sides. So do a row of quartz stairs on top of each one of those 4 sides like this. Now, this next part is kind of unique to the front and the back of the rocket. So on the front of the rocket and the back of the rocket, here's what you want. So we want to, 1 row above and 1 row behind the front of the rocket, we want to have in the very center a block of quartz. It looks like this, right? We want to have a quartz stairs right of that block of quartz, left of that, and on top of it, like this. So it kind of like forms a pointy shape. Easy. Then we want to, on the back, have the same thing. So we want to 1 row above, 1 row behind. We have the block of quartz in the center. We have the quartz stairs left. We have the quartz stairs right. We have a quartz on top. And what we then want to do is we want to do a row of block of quartz right in between. Here we go, right in the center row in between the front and the back like this. We then want a quartz stairs on top of the end of that row, left and right. We then want to have a red stained clay right in the center, and then we want to extend that red stained clay up by 2, 1 and 2. And what we'll end up with is a shape that should look exactly like that. And there you go, guys, that is your rocket. It's surprisingly easy, isn't it? Yeah, it's not so hard at all, really. So now that we have the rocket itself complete, what we now want to do is we want to provide a stand for that rocket so that we can actually walk up the stand and we can actually enter the rocket, and just in case some vicious winds try and knock it over, we need a big giant stand. We're going to use andesite for this, but the first thing we're going to do is make the launch pad because it makes the stand easier. So if we trace along the outside of the rocket, if we stay 1 row outside of where the rocket actually touches the floor, and if we do a square shape in the ground, actually knocking into the ground, and we connect it together so it looks a little something like this. I'm sure that you guys can see how I've actually done this. So you just trace along the outside of the rocket, you form a square shape, and we then can fill this with andesite. This is the launch pad of the rocket because we don't just want to like launch it in a random field somewhere. The field would set on fire. Think of the rabbits and the children. Think of the rabbits and the children. You don't want to burn down around their houses, do you? Well, that's why we're making this for the rocket. And this is also going to be knocked out and replaced with andesite. But now that we've actually made the perimeter for the launch pad, what we can do is on the left-hand side of the launch pad, can you see here where we have this row of andesite just next to where the rocket connects to the ground? Well, we want to move to this andesite that is just left of the actual support. We want to move left or right by 2, so that's 1 and 2 here, and we want to place an andesite, and then we want to move right, and we want to move right by 1 and 2, and we want to place an andesite like this. We then want to go up on top of each one of those andesites by 17, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and we want the same of the other row as well, like this. Then what we want to do is leaving a gap of 3 between these 2 rows here and going left. So if we leave a gap of 3 in the ground, it's really easy, like 1, 2, 3. And then on top of this 4th block, we want to erect 2 other rows of andesite that are equal and 3 blocks away. And this is going to be like the beginning of the stand, like these are the 4 supports of the actual big giant supportive structure that, well, now that we have those 4 supports taken care of, the next thing that we want to do for our stand is we want to make a set of stairs that will allow us to climb the stand and enter the rocket. So we'll take out our oak wood stairs, and right at the front bottom of the stand, we want to find this block here, and we want to place an oak wood stairs on it. So it'll be really easy to find. It's just next to the rocket. It's right near the front of the stand. It looks like this. You guys will have no problem. And for this next bit, we're also going to need, not only do we need the oak wood stairs, we need spruce wood planks. Well, underneath each oak wood stair that you place, you want to place a spruce wood plank, like this. And the way that we want to do the stairs is we want them to curve around inside of the stand that we're making. And on the corners of the actual stairs, we want to have spruce wood planks. So we don't want to have more stairs, we just want to have spruce wood planks. And the stairs only have to go as high as the red stained clay support for the rocket. So it should actually stop in this front right hand corner like this. That's how far your stairs want to go, like that. And now that we have that, that actually gives us a good indication where we should place each one of the levels of this support. So what we want to do now is we need our stone brick stairs, and we also need our stone brick slabs. Plus, we will also need some oak wood slabs as well. So where you actually have this last spruce wood plank that we placed, you want to, on each side of the support, you want to have upside down stone brick stairs like this, and you want to connect them together with stone brick slabs in the middle. So you want to have kind of like this separation here, and that is where you want the first separation in your stand to go. So you don't just want to have 4 ugly looking giant poles of andesite. No, you want to separate them with upside down stairs and stone brick slabs. And we also want to fill in the top of this support a little bit with our oak wood slabs. You can't do it that much. You have to actually make sure that you can walk up this thing. So we can test this a little bit. So if we can actually walk up these stairs, we have more than enough oak wood slabs. Am I missing something? I think I'm getting stuck on that one. So we can only have a little bit up here, but that's more than enough for us to actually get into the rocket. And we can actually connect to our rocket with an oak wood slab here connecting to that red stained clay. We can knock out these 2 blocks here to get into the rocket. And we can also place a quartz stairs on top of the quartz block that you just placed and destroy the glass above it, because the inside of the rocket is actually going to start 1 row higher than the red support outside of it. The reason for that is so that we can actually access the under part of the rocket, and if you like, you can provide a little bit of an interior floor using quartz slabs, and just make sure that you can actually walk into the thing. So we have the oak wood plank here, and we can just walk up, and we actually have a surface to walk in the rocket, but we'll come back to this later. So the next thing that we want to do now that we've done that is we want to add more separation points in the stand. So these will look the exact same way as the previous one, this only one that we have, the upside down stone brick stairs and the stone brick slabs, and this next one is going to be 5 blocks away, so we want 4 blocks in between this. It will look like this, so we want to count up from where we have this separation, and we want to leave a gap of 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. This 5th one, we want to do the same thing. So we have the upside down stone brick stairs, and then we want to connect them together with our stone brick slabs. So we want the upside down stone brick stairs, and we want to have the stone brick slabs like this. And not only do we want to do that again, but we just want to have it one more time. So not only do we want to do that, but we want to do that one more time. So once again, leaving a gap of 4. So we leave a gap of 4, and then on the 5th block we place it, we want to have a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th block, we want to do the same thing, and this is the last one that we'll have to do. And this is just going to be the last part of the stand that we actually do, or at least structure-wise, because we will also be making it look a little bit nicer on the ground. We're going to add a bit of flooring and stuff to it, but I'll show you that in just a mo. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now, that makes the stand look a little bit more interesting. That's basically the only reason we've done it. Next thing, we're going to take the front left-hand corner of the stand, and in the ground, we're going to knock into the ground until it is even with the launch pad, like this. We're also going to make the floor for the walkway all the way up to the stand. We're going to make the floor oak wood. So that can be slabs, that can be oak wood planks, up to you. I'm also going to connect the stand together on the left hand side, plus I'm also going to extend the back left hand corner, and I'm going to connect it all the way to the back corner of the actual launch pad itself, just to make things look a little bit nicer, like this. So I'm just filling all of this in with oak wood planks at the moment. And that makes it just look a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Well, the next thing that we're going to do, because we don't fancy doing the launch pad right now, is we're going to actually do the interior of the ship, and it's quite easy. So why don't we move inside of the ship now, and we'll grab what we need. So we need loads of stuff for this. We'll need a chair for the ship. So I'm going to use stone brick stairs for this. We'll need iron trapdoors. We'll need wooden trapdoors. We'll need block of coal. We'll need some andesite, we'll need buttons, we'll need levers, slash levers, whatever you want to call them. We need paintings for this. We also need ourselves some ladders. Okay, so what we're going to do in here. So as you walk in, this back wall, as you walk in, the one that's facing you, we want a row of andesite in front of the bottom of it. We want to place a block of coal on top of the left and right hand blocks. We want to place wooden trapdoors on top of the block of coal, and we want a painting inside of each one of the blocks of coal. We want to have a lever coming out of the very front, center andesite, and we want to have wooden buttons coming out of the left and right one. We also need ourselves, for this bit, I don't think I actually have the material, which is, well, it's me, I always forget stuff. We want to have a weighted pressure plate, so the iron looking one, on top of that center block. Facing the little console, we want to have a stone brick stairs. It wants to be 1 block away. And left and right of it, we want to have an iron trap door. And left and right of that, we want to have levers, slash levers, again, whatever you call these things, and we want to have those flipped in either the on or off position. So the idea behind this is the chair that you'd strap yourself into when you're about to take off, and you can actually strap yourself into the chair using the iron trap doors. I think it's kind of cool. Next thing we're going to do, inside of here, we're going to take the block that you have on the very left of you as you actually walking in the floor, we want to knock out. We want to have a row of ladders that connects us down to the lower part of this. So we just want a row of ladders that connects us down to the lower part of this. We'll come back to that. We also want to fill in the roof of the rocket. So unless you want to see right all the way to the top, that's completely up to you. I'm going to fill in the roof of the rocket a little bit, just so that it looks, in my opinion, a little bit nicer. So we have something which should look a little bit like this. I'm actually using the quartz slabs, and I'm using them directly underneath the red stained clay blocks, just so that we don't get any red showing through. And if you like, something that I've also done is you can take some redstone lamps, you can knock into the slabs on the left and right at the top, and you can kind of just have some additional lighting if you like. That's completely up to you, just so that you can light up your rocket if you want. It's kind of up to you. You can do whatever you want, can't you? So once you've got that taken care of, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come... Oh, also, we need that iron trap door again. And just above the hole that we have the ladders connecting down to, we want an iron trap door, and we want a lever just above that so we can enter and exit this. Down below is where we're going to have a little bedroom, and we're going to have a little storage area and stuff. I mean, you're an astronaut. You need stuff, don't you? Aren't you a big fan of stuff? I am anyway. So for this little room, we're going to need like beacon, we'll need beds, we'll need we'll just need like chests, crafting tables, we need an armor stand, that sort of stuff. So right at the back here, I'm going to place a bed. Left and right of the bed, I'm going to place a beacon because it seems like an astronaut-y thing. I'm going to place a crafting table on the left. I'm going to place a furnace on the right. I'm going to place a chest left and right of the furnace and the crafting table. I'm also going to place a crafting table right here at the back center. And I'm also going to place an armor stand left of that in the corner. And in this armor stand, I'm going to have some leather. And unfortunately, because I might be a bit stupid or it's not possible, one of the two, I'm going to grab some light grey dye, and I'm going to dye the clothes light grey, all of the leather. And this is going to form kind of like a spacesuit. Or at least that's the idea. That's the idea that we have here. This leather light grey suit. I wish it was white. I don't know how to get white. I don't know if I'm just stupid or what. Maybe bone meal does it. I don't know. But we now have a spacesuit. We have a little bit of a bunker down below, and I think that looks quite cool. So there you go, guys. There you have the rocket. Here you have like the launching room where you'd actually control the rocket, and there you have a nice little living quarters down below. The only thing that we have left to do here, which is something that I've not been looking forward to, is we just have to fill the launch pad in with cyan stained clay. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get that done. I'm not going to do it on recording, and then I'll come back and we'll say our goodbyes. So I'm just going to fill this in with cyan stained clay, guys. It'll take a second or two, but I'll be back once I've done this, and then we can take a last look, and yes, our goodbyes. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished rocket. As you can see, I've just filled in the launch pad with cyan stained clay. Nothing absolutely crazy happened whilst you've been away. All I've done is filled in the launch pad, and now we can take a look at our rocket. So let's imagine that we're actually in survival mode. We're not in the glorious creative god mode, and we just walk up to our rocket. We're not exactly sure what this thing is until we get a little bit closer to it. It's like, whoa. This is a rocket. We can take off in this thing. Even has a little stand we can walk up the stairs, which probably aren't that safe. Actually, they are, because it's really hard when you're getting jabbed in the head with oak wood slabs. So we can walk up to the stand, and we notice that we can actually enter the rocket. That's so cool. We didn't actually see the entrance whilst we were over there in the distance at the candy shop. Yeah, that's actually a candy shop over there. So we can actually enter the rocket, and we notice that it has a chair. So the chair is actually strapped in at the moment, not sure why. Maybe the astronaut just went on break and we're stealing his rocket, who knows. But we have some controls here, we have some screens, we actually are able to strap ourselves in just in case we want to take off. And not only is this place well lit, but it does have a little bit of a living quarters down below. So just in case you do want to go on your own very space adventure, we do have the living quarters down below, and we have a suit. We actually have an astronaut suit, which we can wear, which is pretty cool, and we can just put this on, and we will find that we are now ready for a space adventure. So it's a pretty decent rocket. It looks really cool. It's really recognizable. It has all of the things that you might expect a cartoonish looking rocket to have. Of course, it doesn't actually take off, unfortunately, but it does everything shy of taking off. It's just a cool little build to add to your world, maybe something that people may not expect to see in your creative or survival worlds that you've been building. It's just really easy. I hope you guys like it. I think it looks really great. Well, that's about everything. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below. Let me know if you like these types of builds and suggest other stuff that you guys want to see next. The only reason I built a rocket is because you guys suggested it. Never would I have imagined that you guys would have wanted to see this. So if I hadn't have read that suggestion, yeah, I probably never would have made anything like this. So let me know down below, what do you want to see next? Really, really intrigued to see what you guys want me to build. It's always something cool and crazy. I love it. Keep those suggestions rolling in. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you suggest something and you aren't subscribed, how are you going to see if I fulfill the request exactly? It doesn't make any sense. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Also check out the cards in the description below if you want to see any and all of the things that are surrounding you. Yeah, we get a lot of building done around here, and it's a lot of varied stuff, so maybe if rockets aren't your thing, hang around, check out the card system. I'll be leaving loads of playlists and stuff that I think that you guys will really enjoy in there. There will be something that you guys are into, trust me. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.